What's up, guys? Welcome back. Hope everybody had a very good Christmas and Santa Claus was good to everyone. Today we're at my pal Joe's house. We got the 57 Esquire. I've been playing it over the last few weeks since I purchased it. And the frets are kind of low. They're the original frets. Really tricky when you refret an old Fender, especially. Gibsons are also hard because of the binding. Leo drove the frets in sideways with a caul. And when you extract them, you basically have to extract them the same way. You can pull them out the top. I'm going to try to demonstrate both methods and show you guys how they are removed from a vintage Fender guitar, this being a maple neck. So we'll go into the shop and we'll check it out. All right, guys, so we're in the shop with Joe. He was nice enough to let me come in and bother him for the day. Joe, looking at this old Fender here, the frets were driven in sideways with a caul. So pulling them out the top, what are the pros and cons of that?
Well, it's faster, but I mean, who's looking for speed, right? We want a good job, a neat job, and you pull them out, you're going to get some chip out. But if you drive them side, obviously you take a look at this. You couldn't do any better. Nice and neat. So drive them out sideways.
So a little more prep work just gives a better finish in the end.
Definitely a better job. Definitely. Yep.
All right, let's get to it.
Good.
Yeah, I got 2 out so far. I'll show you guys how I got the 2 out, and then we'll just move along. We've got 21 to do. Up until 83, 84, so these frets were pushed in or broached in, a method that Leo devised, and it seems to work pretty well. Driving them out the side, I can tell you from the last 3 I've done so far, you get a really clean slot. If you're driving them out the side, you get a really clean slot. You get really clean work. This one is one that's pulled out of the top. I'll demonstrate both methods. So what we're gonna start here is we use a flat punch and some patience. You get your flat punch and a little bit of patience. And I put a dent in the fret instantly to use as a dam to basically mark the fret and hold it while I'm tapping it out. Next step is I just take a little dab of water. Then I come in with my soldering iron and just steam that water under that fret. And it basically just, it frees up some of that resistance, any kind of sweat, gunk, oils that may be in that groove. You just get that fret kind of hot, let that water wick right in there. Then we just take our time. And you don't want to go hard. You don't want to try to drive this thing out one shot. Just be extremely patient because dealing with a valuable guitar, change your angle so you're going downward. And and you just want to follow the radius of that fretboard and follow that fret all the way out. When you're done, you remove your fret, and you get a nice clean fret slot. No chip out, no damage. One more time, just a little dab of water. Come over here with my soldering iron. And like I said, I'm just using that water as a tool. I'm letting the heat draw that water in, get underneath that fret tang, and loosen up all that hand oil and gunk over the years. And hopefully it aids me in pulling this fret out. No issues. I don't like to leave a lot of heat on the fret. I try to just work in a timely manner and just trying to get it loosened up. All right, here we go. Don't want to pull it out. You don't want to force it out. Send it out all the way. All the gunk that's built up on that fret tang, that's basically what we're using the heat and the water to loosen up. And again, you're left with a really clean fret slot. And we carry on. So shedding a little light on what's going on here, I choose to put a divot at the top of the fret and use the punch to drive it out like this, okay? I'm not trying to push the punch at the edge of the fret because I open up a chance for the bottom of the punch to score that fret slot that I'm trying to preserve and keep nice and clean. So just little things I've picked up along the way with, thanks to my buddy Joe. And this is also a disclaimer not to go and rip the frets out of your guitars. This is just me giving you guys a little insight of how they come out. I'm not responsible for anybody, working on their own guitar. But doing it at an angle to where you're almost following the shape of the actual fret wire or the radius of the fretboard, the fret can glide its way out because you're essentially pushing straight on the fret. You just don't want to push at the edge of the fret where you can nick up that fret slot and cause more harm. All right, guys, so we got all the frets pulled out. They came out fairly straightforward, fairly easy using that sideways tapping out method. Minimal chip out, if any. Usually it's just the lacquer coming off. Like I said, this one was the one done with the pull method. Not really the end of the world, and the new fret will hide those markings there, so we are okay. Next step is to get a tool, a fret slot scraper. Basically, you want to remove all the junk, the oils, all the gunk that's hidden in that fret slot after you've removed the frets, and I'll try to give you a little idea of what that's doing. So you're basically just cleaning these out. There you go. There's just all that gunk. I'll do that 3 or 4 times. And then I'll, if I have to open up the slots, I'll do that, obviously adhering to what the new fret calls for. But yeah, we're going along pretty well. How'd I do, Joe?
You're doing A-okay.
See that? There you go. Celebrity. All right, so we took our fret slot scraper and cleaned up all these grooves and got most of that gunk and oil and maybe glue, finger skin residue, whatever could be in there is in there. Over the years of playing, you got to think the guitar is 61 years old. I had to open the fret slot up a hair to accept the new tang of the fret, which is the bottom portion here. So we just did that with a 20,000 saw, and you just gently let the saw do the work and just work its way through the slot. We didn't have to go deeper, we just have to widen it for the new fret. So we're gonna shape some frets and we're gonna start popping them in, I think. All right, so we're at this new stage now. Fretboard slots are cut, clean, sized up, grooves are all cleaned out. Also, when getting into this, we made sure to check the straightness of the neck. You don't want any added relief, any overbow, anything like that. You want to start with basically a fresh canvas. And then I used the, I sized up my fret wire and cut those all the length, starting at the first fret all the way to 21. Talking to my buddy Chad at CF Restorations and a few other my player friends. I didn't want to go with a jumbo fret or anything like that to really take away from the maple characteristics of the fretboard. So I went with the Stumac 155. It's the vintage width, but a little taller. The tang actually worked out really, really great for the original slot that's in the fretboard. I'm gonna start putting these in a minute, but everything's been going really well so far. Just waiting to get bit in the ass. All right, so we're ready to press them in. Going with a little different method. I'm gonna try wood glue this time. I've usually used the Stumac glue, but I'm gonna try the wood glue. I'm not really worried about it. We have a nice snug fit. The cleanup work is really, really well. The slots are worked in pretty nice. So there's some just high def look. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna start pressing them in now and see how it goes. Using 7 1/4 call. My frets have been pre-cut, awaiting their individual slots. And we're gonna go with it. Just gonna have some fun. That's what it's all about. So we've used super glue in the past, Joe, and we've also used no glue. But what do you like about the wood glue?
Well, it fills the void, and we're dealing with a vintage finish, so it's gentle on that. It's easy cleanup, and on this particular neck, the slots were so tight to begin with. It's not like we're actually relying on the glue to hold the fret in. We're just looking to fill the voids between the bobs and the tang, and I think that's it's going to work out well. That's why I use wood glue. And as I said, it's a lot easier cleanup.
You have more cleanup time as well.
Yes, and you have correct all the time you want, and you're not going to ruin the finish.
Any pros or cons to, like, say, CA glue to wood glue, the super glue, or it's just, to each his own?
Well, as I said, because these slots were so tight, we're not relying on the glue to hold them in. If you had a loose slots, I would think maybe we'd use a super glue to help hold them, but not in this case. So, as I said, you had a tight slot and a vintage finish. So I'd go with super glue because any voids that are left,
you go with wood glue.
Yeah, I'd go with the wood glue, and that would be it. Yeah,
there you go. Good. The first 3 frets.
And it's sitting right down there beautifully on the old finish. Can't ask for more than that.
All right, we're going to keep going. Last one. All right, guys, so here we are. We got the neck fretted. We're gonna put the last one in now. Then we're gonna call it a day. We did good, took our time. We were patient. Frets went in really good. It's my first time working with the wood glue as far as in the fret slots, and I really like how it's set up. Good tip, Joe.
Yeah, it should work out well. Is that in the slot? You've got it, okay, because that end came up a little
Yeah.
bit. All right,
Yeah.
good deal.
We'll hold it for a minute. We'll check our ends. And they, like I said, too, they've been popping in really, really nice. You know what I mean? You feel them
You
smooth.
can feel it, yeah.
Do an assessment. I'll just trim this one a little bit. Come back in, give it one more set. After you trim the edges, it's good to go in and repress it because the pressure from the pliers clipping the nips off, you can kind of twist the fret. Sometimes you can twist it out of the slot. So just go back in and ensure that it's seated. Here we go. 57 Esquire neck. New frets. So next will be we start taking our shape, check the tops, see how much of a cleanup we need. But I think all in all, today was a really good day as far as progress. How'd we do, Joe?
You did okay.
Joe's my cameraman today, amongst other things, the Jedi Master. Yeah, there you go. All the slugs are in.
Yeah.
And not too bad. Like I said, next will come the crowning, the leveling, the crowning,
Bevel.
chamfer the sides, bevel the sides, make a new nut for it, and we're good.
Yeah.
So that was awesome. We were able to get some new frets installed in the 57 Esquire neck. It was my first time actually fretting a maple guitar, a maple neck, and it worked really, really well. I had to go in there and just open up the slots a little bit, and everything just worked out great. Sorry, I'm driving right now, but yeah, it's gonna be a two-part video. The next part is gonna be the leveling, beveling, and crowning, and then I'm gonna try to save the nut and add a shim to it, thanks to a new video by Dan Erlewine. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. If you guys dug the video, just you can leave a like, comment. Any questions you may have about a fretting process, I'll try to answer the best I can. But yeah, look forward to part 2, and thanks guys for checking this video out. Have a good one. Peace.